Our next speaker is Mark Jones. He's going to talk about the riverbank filtration in a narrow river valley of the Barranca River, Costa Rica. Mark?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Mark Jones from the Technological Institute of Costa Rica. I'm a civil engineering student there. So, yeah, Costa Rica, as many of you may know or may not know, is a tropical country and has high amount of water. You know, we have about 1,500 to 6,000 millimeters of precipitation per year. But due to recent climate changes and El Niño phenomenon, we have had some problems managing or treating some of our water sources. And riverbank filtration is one of the options that is being explored, and this would be the first documented research on this method. So the aim of this study was to evaluate the potential for riverbank filtration in the Barranca River in Punta Arenas. So there's a map of Costa Rica. It's in Central America. It has Atlantic Ocean to the one side and Pacific to the other, and it is neighboring countries of Nicaragua and Panama north and the south. The site is located along the Central Pacific region of Costa Rica, and if you see the enlarged image, we have a unique case because the well site is located inside of a quarry. So the wells have been operating, most of them have been operating since the 80s. There are 5 wells, but out of them only 2 are operating right now. So this is quite unique because you don't have, you know, your regulations on as to a conservation area are not being followed. Even though we have them, there are some problems that need to be fixed here as well. As you can observe, the morphology of the river is quite windy, so we have this shape here that has quite a big influence on the filtration, which I will discuss later. So here's another image of the site. As you can see, there are aggregate mounds, stone crushers, there's a brick factory, all in the same area where the wells are at. The top right image is a well that has been shut down due to obvious reasons. It is right in the middle of the whole work site. So analysis of data were collected, data was collected and analysis was made, and we did some of our own tests, and we concluded that the parameters or the criteria that we selected for evaluating the potential is quite good for applying riverbank filtration, as our hydraulic conductivity is within the range of most case studies, and the river water levels and the well static levels determine that the river is a giving type, so there's a natural gradient between the river and the wells. We also have a quite short distance from the from the well to the river, which is about 75 meters at the shortest point, and we have a travel time which was modeled of about minimum 10 days at the shortest point and about 110 days at the longest. There was no presence or no evidence of presence of groundwater, and it is confined on the lower layer by a bedrock. So it is almost certain that all the water that is being extracted is riverbank filtrate. So here is a model, a particle tracking model, and the final hydraulic heads from the model. This is all done with ModFlow, and as you can see, the green lines from the upper corner, they show there is a significant amount of water being abstracted from the upper corner of the meander or of the river right there, which increases the travel time, which also increases the filtration. It is quite neat because all this water is being filtrated under the study site, which is not very common to see. So even though we have this long travel time and some short ones on the shorter sides, we have quite a good removal of apparent color and turbidity, which are way above the maximum accepted values according to standards. It is reduced to about 0 in most of the cases, and so all the everything associated to turbidity is being just about removed in this site. So there we have quite a big of samples. This was all provided to us by the water utility company. So it is quite old data for this case. To finalize, we proposed a substitution because in this site there's also a water surface intake which sends to a conventional water treatment plant. So we proposed to remove or to substitute this surface water intake for 5 wells, which would extract the same amount, and here's the final values, which, and according to the model, seems to be well. We would have to run a few more tests to make sure that this is that way. Operational cost comparison between the Riverbank filtration and disinfection and the conventional water treatment proved to have about a 29% less cost in comparison to the water treatment plant. And so yeah, it was verified that Riverbank filtration, according to the hydrogeological criteria and water quality assessment, was it proved to be efficient. So yes, this would be the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Nice job.
So any questions? Thank you.
Any questions?
No? All right.
Oh, there's one.
Question there.
Thanks, Mark. Can you comment a little bit on the current position of the wells and the intake? So have you considered this into the picture when you can see the actual aerial photo?
Can I have the presentation again? Yes. So what was the question again?
Can you show the aerial photo when
this one? Yes.
This one, and you can see the intake there from the
yes, the intake is right there where you can see a wire along the river which dams up and sends the water towards the intake. Yes. What was your question again?
Yes. Now, based on the intake and the proposition of your wells, do you have something to comment there? Or does the intake has any effect on your model? Or?
No, it did not. Since the water is dammed up and it has natural flow in this case, the model, no, the groundwater flow seemed to run naturally in comparison. Actually, what this did do was elevate the natural water at the surface level, increasing the gradient into the wells in this case. So there was no effect. All right, thank you.
Follow-up question for you. Were those originally installed as dewatering wells for the gravel pit?
No, these were installed as extraction wells. This was not planned to be a riverbank filtration site. They just put the wells there as regular extraction.
But they were installed as
for providing water
for bank filter. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.